All right, guys, today we're going to do Ghost Rider, issue number 1 of 6. This is a mini-series from Marvel by Garth Ennis and Clayton Crain. Cover also by Clayton Crain. This is from the Marvel MK imprint. Marvel Knights. I forgot what this is all about, because it's a long time ago. Wasn't that particularly interesting to me. But it has some fun titles. I love Ghost Rider. I think Johnny Blaze, even Danny Ketch are great Ghost Riders. But yeah, there's some hit and miss books, but mostly, for the most part, I enjoy them very much. So art by Clayton Crain, I said before. Now, I'm going to show you his art. The art is very fun to look at, but also sometimes very hard to read. So Johnny Blaze, he is in hell, and every time when it's night, demons are coming for him, try to claw at him, kill him, break him, because every night Johnny Blaze has the chance to escape hell through a portal, and every night he fails because, well, the demon's catching up to him, and then the next day it starts all over again because they are rebuilding him, basically, right? But then we go to Earth, and we have two brothers, I seems, Malachi and Daniel. And they are here, having a chat. And the chat is about something that happened. And it seems that Kazan, I believe a powerful monster or demon, is on the loose. And if he's going to reach the physical plane, then it's going to be, game over for humanity, I guess, or something like that. And it seems that Hell responded by sending a hunter called Moss or Haas, and the heavenly side, the heaven side is sending Roof. And I hope they don't clash at each other. So I'm not sure if they are working together or they are just dispatched by those, heaven and hell, and bringing then Kazan in before it's too late. So separately, I'm not sure. But it seems that one of these brothers has, I'm not sure, made a deal with Kazan, but it seems that Kazan helped one of these brothers here to get promotions, feeding some informations, etc. And that was very well hidden. But now he is on the loose. And if the word gets out, it's probably very bad for Daniel or Malachi, whoever it is. One of these two who's responsible. I don't know. All right. So also, it seems that highly sensitive people can see angels. So the brother says, I'm going to switching her off for an hour or two, and then she just miscarried. One less mouth to feed. So can you help me or can't you? Yeah, angels are not very good beings. Now we see, I believe this is Haas, this fat man riding in this Cadillac, having a great time, right? But then we have some biker gangs, yeehaw, right? And breaking stuff. Of course, Haas doesn't like that. So, remember the Hulk and Ultimate Destruction? That was a fun game, man. Every foot could be broken. You can jump around and break stuff. Just was a fun game. All right, so yeah, the biker gang dude's friends are dead. So he falls off his bike. Haas says, well now, just took a big black dump on yourself, partner? But you probably figured that out already. So he's also talking with a certain accent, from those parts. So he says, hey, you can do one thing or two things, or you're coming with me, or you're going to bleed to death. So he says, that sounded like a yes to me. So he's modifying his, and he's calling him Buttview. Does he just put his face into his butt? Turning into some kind of a demon or something. I'm not sure. Meanwhile, one of them says, you have heard of the Ghost Rider? Who? All right, pin your ears back. So we have the origin of the Ghost Rider. For those who don't know, Johnny Blaze, he was helping out a friend, dying of cancer, months to live. He made a deal with the devil and selling his soul and for his friend's life, right? So at some unspecified point in the future, Johnny will report to hell and begin spending eternity in indescribable torment. Meanwhile, his friend, one Crash Simpson by name, will find himself miraculously cured of cancer. But Crash doesn't know that he's been cured of cancer. So what happens is that Crash, who was a stunt rider, just like Johnny Blaze, he did an attempt to jump over with a Harley Davidson over 22 limousines as a last defiant gesture. Better to go out with dignity than to rot in some hospital bed. Right. So it's the pit at its worst, of course. The base irony they enjoy inflicting on humanity at every turn, but which the idiots fall for every single time. So yeah, by committing suicide, if you can call it that, he's probably in hell burning. Meanwhile, Johnny has now, also pay his dues, right? And Johnny Blaze turns out to be no exception when they come to for his soul. He tries to point out that Crash is surviving cancer only to die with his head driven through his colon is not playing the game. Of course, hell doesn't care. But something goes wrong. Either has help from some unknown source, or the bad guys decide to mess with him a little bit more. But Johnny does not go out down below that night. Instead, he ends up tied to some kind of super powerful hell spawn. What of Belial's cavalry, or maybe the Royal Fire kind? From then on, Johnny Blaze is the Ghost Rider. What kind of power are we talking about here? 4 alarm fire. He says, "Your cross this creature at your pallor, Malachi." All right, sorry, I got a phone call. I just had to put it on quiet. So yeah, Johnny Blaze doesn't have a good time, because his face is always burning off when he turning into Ghost Rider. So, and then he says, one of these guys says, sorry, "Not exactly the sharpest tool in the box, eh? I'll sign anything to save my buddy Crash. You're missing the point, Malachi. Incredibly powerful, incredibly gullible too, right? He would be the perfect agent, wouldn't he? He's not tied to our side or theirs, so he could get a lot down before anyone got wind of him with the stuff I could give him on Kazan. He have a head start on the Haas and roof. And it sounds he's got the firepower to take care of any trouble. But there is a catch. Well, not this one. But before we go there, we see Roof is having a coffee, I guess. 2 minutes, folks. Everybody back on the bus. Mom, lady has wings. Uh-oh. Mom, can't you see? But then Ruff does something. The kid gets a pencil, and I said, is he going to draw her or something? No, he does not. Maybe, Mommy, the lady says I'm a sinner. Oh, man. So Roof is going on a bus. Not sure why an angel gets on the bus. I mean, she can fly. Maybe she wants to lie down or something. Lay low. That's probably. All right, but there's also a little bit tension between the brothers, right? He says, don't patronize me. I like to see how you cope with your head stuck in the guillotine. You've always been so high and bloody, my tree. I have no idea how I behave in your situation, Malachi, but I like to think I take a moment to consider a wide implications of what I've done. All hell is literally about to break loose, but all you care is about saving your precious hide. You're the most selfless, thoughtless, ruthless being in all of the host. And I think you all agree that is saying something. Kazan didn't get to you at some point down the centuries, did he? All right, so they have a standoff, but then they calm down. He says, okay, tell me more. So eventually, hell got Johnny Blaze and, dragged him to hell. So he is now in hell, being ripped apart, right? Fulfilling his side of the bargain. He sold his soul, and now he's got to suffer for his sins. Every night, he tries to race the pack to get the gates. Every night, he loses. So the gist is, you got to get the Ghost Rider out of hell. And that leads us to the next issue. Yeah, I'm all aboard. I mean, I read this many moons ago. Well, since 2005, so 20 years ago. And yeah, I think this is going to be a fun one. So let's see if it actually holds up after all these years. Let me know in the comments below what you think about it, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.